Hello, my name is Kristen Hall, and today I will be presenting to you the technical definition of tragedy of the commons. Tragedy of the commons is an economic and environmental problem where individuals who are acting in their own interest are all trying to obtain the greatest benefit from a resource to the point where the demand for the resource diminishes the supply and individuals can no longer benefit from that resource. The term was first coined by ecologist Garrett Hardin in his article titled "Tragedy of the Commons." In that article, Hardin uses the example of grazing land to describe overpopulation. The example goes like this. There are 3 farmers, and they each have 1 animal grazing on a shared plot of land. Currently, the land is at carrying capacity, which means that the land can support the number of animals grazing on it continuously. The grass can grow back as fast as the animals eat it, more or less. However, one farmer decides that he could double his profit if he had 2 animals grazing. The other farmers notice the one farmer's extra animal and decide to also add an extra animal, doubling the number of animals on the land from 3 to 6. The land can only support up to 3 animals, so it starts to degrade. If this pattern continues, and the farmer keeps adding animals, the land will further degrade and eventually none of them can have any animals. Another way of thinking about tragedy of the commons is to think of it like a public restroom. If you and several other people are using the restroom and no one is cleaning it, eventually it will be so dirty that no one will want to use it. Much like tragedy of the commons, if there are no regulations on the resource and it is used irresponsibly, then eventually it will crash and no one will benefit from that resource. A famous example of tragedy of the commons is the Grand Banks fishery that lie off the Newfoundland coast. Historically, this fishing spot was fished for hundreds of years and had great yields of cod. Advancements were made in the 1960s that allowed fishermen to catch massive amounts of fish, larger than ever before. This led to more competition amongst the fishermen to catch larger and larger amounts of cod. Eventually, the population of the codfish in the region declined so much that the fishing industry in the area collapsed around the 1990s.